Hey guys, Huzzy bringing you another video. Now, welcome to my ranked summary of season 2022 for my main account Climb. So I do like to do these because it's kind of a nice reflection point and talking about how did I find the season overall. You know, a lot of these videos, hilariously over the years, have never been that positive because it's always of like wanting to achieve a goal and then not quite achieving it. This season, I'm really just straight away happy to say, has been my best ever season of League of Legends in SOLOQ. So, I, for the last few years, never was in the mental space. And I've said this, you know, for ages. I was never in the mental space to put my all into climbing. A lot of that, and, you know, it's an excuse, but it's also a reason. The pandemic really, I think it hurt a lot of people, obviously, and it did mess me up a little bit mentally in some places. It was hard for me to kind of just go, I'm going to try hard in a video game with how much bad stuff was going on in the world when we're in lockdown and everything like that. So I know I suffered with that for the seasons that we had in proper lockdowns. And I mentally was in a place this season at the beginning of it. And if you've been watching for ages, you probably even remember me saying, I was in a mental space that I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try hard this season. And that's what we did. So we ended up finishing the season in Master, as you can see, Master 1 LP. But just to finish the season in Master to me is everything. I'm obviously on this website, not sponsored, not partnered, but this is League of Graphs. I just quite like how they present the information that we're going to look at. But historically, if you go on op.gg, everybody knows that website, and you look up someone's profile, at the top, it has their history of ranked finishing. Now, League of Graphs is different because the way that League of Graphs does it is your peak rank per season. So, like, for example, Diamond 1 in Season 7, Diamond 2 in Season 8, Master in Season 9, Diamond 2 in Season 10, and then last season we only got Diamond 4 because we didn't really play on the Huzzy account. For those that remember that, we played on a different account, not the Huzzy one. On op.gg, for example, in Season 9, Master would not be there. So for the first time since Season 3, on op.gg, at the end of when this ranked season is done, it'll have Master next to this year, not Diamond. And a little thing, but it is quite a nice thing. So just thought I'd talk about the season, what did really change for me, because I know some people may look at my climb and, you know, I've always been, as you can see, consistently. Last season, obviously, yeah, Diamond 4 on this account, but we got to Diamond 2 on EU West. We got to Master Promo on EU Northeast last season. But if you kind of look at the peak, so let's say Diamond 2 was the peak last season on a different account. Diamond 2 was the year before. Master was the year before that. Diamond 2, Diamond 1. Diamond 2 is a lot of the time where I've kind of been. As somebody that plays... The weird thing with me as a League of Legends player, I'm the casual side of a hardcore ranked player. And what I mean by that is I only play ranked. So I don't play normals. I don't really play the fun game modes. I don't really play much ARAM at all. So people would look at me and go, oh, he's only a ranked player, therefore he's a hardcore player, which is true. But I'm the more casual side of that. You know, I'm historically someone that plays quite a lot of champions or a few roles, which is not really a normal thing for SOLOQ. I also don't play that much, so we actually ended this season in SOLOQ alone, 677 games. That is the most amount of games that I've ever played in a ranked season on a single account. Beating it by over 100, I would say. I think about 500 was the most I ever played in one ranked season on one account. Obviously, with doing main account stuff and unranked to diamond stuff, if you added it up, yeah, I play that amount, but not on one account. So it's the most I've ever played SOLOQ. It was the biggest game sessions I would say I've ever had. Like just the other day, I played 11 games in one day. I never do that. But that was like kind of the mental shift of I want to take this a bit more seriously. And what did we do with that? Well, even though I still played quite a lot of champions, I think this season we played around 75 to 80 different champions in SOLOQ if we went through it like here. Unfortunately, it doesn't count them on here. On op.gg it does, And yeah, I think it's over 70. It's still arguably too many champions realistically for a nice, solid climb. But that's just the nature of me. I will just randomly go, oh, I'm going to play a random game of that. But obviously this year has been the biggest year that I have actually had a champion pool and kind of kept to it. And this is something that I think a lot of people have been like, oh my God, Huz is doing it. He's actually got a champion pool. He's keeping with those champions. Great. And the feedback that I've overall had this year is really positive. And I was a little bit worried about it. You know, I'm never going to be a pure one trick. My mains have swapped around this season. Obviously, there has been one kind of key one this year of the burb. But overall, the feedback that I've had has been really successful and really positive for people kind of going, it's actually kind of cool to see what you can do when you're maining stuff. Because obviously, I've never liked one-tricking. I do think one-tricking makes you a worse player overall. But maining and having a set amount of champions, it does give you consistency. Never box yourself into one champion, do several, and you'll still have that consistency, and you'll be more flexible down the road. A lot of people have always said to me, like, how do I play so many champions? Or how do I just jump on a champion and do kind of okay? It's because I've never truly boxed myself in. So your skill is kind of diverse among all skills. Yeah, sure, I might not be the most precise player in one specific avenue, like a pure one trick might be, but that is not being flexible. I like flexibility with meta changes or whatever it may be. So Anivia was the champion, obviously, that we played a lot of. So we actually played 101 games of Anivia this season with a 59.4% win rate. We're ending our world rank, for those that care about world rank 133 in the world on Anivia with EU West rank 44. The best we actually ever did on world rank with Anivia, we were rank 6 in the world, rank 1 EU West. The reason why my rank actually isn't as impressive right now is because I believe we just don't have a lot of games on Anivia recently. So I actually have stopped playing this champion. You can see defeat there. There's not too many Anivia games, let's be honest. There's another one there, there's one there. But we played a lot more Anivia quite often. And the way that the ranks work is consistency of playing it multiple times actually increases your rank. So to be 133 in the world without spamming Anivia is very good. Most of the ranks, when you're like around 100 in the world or so, they are kind of full with one tricks. So to not be a one trick and be in that reign of 133 in the world is fine with me. Upon promoting to master, because some of you, if you watched the last video, there was someone in chat going, oh my Huz, your world rank on Mals is under 800. And then I actually said, just wait for it to update again. Because the ranks on here, they update kind of twice. They update live after having each game. But then I've always found around midnight, the rank updates based on your actual LP. So the moment that I go, boom, I'm master, I get kind of like another refresh. And my Mal's rank is now 172, my second best world rank technically. And then my Viger is now rank 465 in the world. So not bad, you know, for somebody that plays a bunch of champions. I'm actually pretty happy with those world ranks. My next closest to a top 1,000, I think, is Renata there with 1,500. But again, they don't mean a crazy amount. Those, they're just kind of nice to look at. But why, by the way, Anivia? I've always liked Anivia, always. And I'd never want to main a champion or have like my kind of back pocket champion be something that is too strong. And I know to some people are like, what? I'll explain in a second. I wouldn't want it to be too strong for the reason of, one, your pick is going to be more contested. So like, if this season was like, I'm going all in on Kassadin, for example, he's very contested in two ways. Other people want to play Kassadin, and he's also banned a lot. So that harms you if you pick something like that. Anivia, I believe, is actually pretty damn strong, but is under the radar. And that's the perfect champion to me of what you want to kind of focus on a bit. Is she's not really going to get banned unless it's a specific champion that's going to ban it. Arguably, the only champion main or one trick that would ban Anivia is a Nunu player, because Anivia heavily counters Nunu with her wall. And that's, again, still quite rare. And people also in mid lane, she's not a cheese pick. She's a mid laner. So you're playing in the correct role. You're playing in the correct lane. but they still don't know her very well. I've killed so many people in solo kills when I'd imagine they're like, whoa, Anivia did way too much damage, or like, damn, I didn't expect that. Because that's Anivia. She also has skill expression, so you do have to play quite well to make anything happen. So yeah, like ultimately pretty nice. Then the other two champions that I'll highlight here, because obviously Veigar was my other kind of main mid laner at the tail end of the season. We were playing like Victor, Vladimir, and Swain a bit more, even Ari and Xerath. We were playing them more into the early to mid season, and then we kind of moved on to Veigar, and then obviously eventually Mals. But Veigar to me is the ultimate late game hyper carry that I've got in my arsenal. Potentially, I do need to pick up like Syndra, and I've thought that for a while. The new Syndra, I think she's very strong. I do like it. I will probably play more of it. But Veigar is to me of, we need late game, or I've got a free lane. For example, if you, obviously, by now a week or whatever ago, we had that Soraka mid matchup. Very weird. I'm going to pick Veigar, because ultimately, I've got a free scaling lane. As Veigar, I'm going to probably just crush and win the game. So that's what Veigar is to me. He's not that hard to play. I'm not claiming that my champion pool at the moment is the hardest. I'd say out of the ones that I play often, Anivia is probably the hardest pick. But Veigar is, you need to be consistent. It's quite easy to feed on Veigar, surprisingly. But you need to be consistent, and you need to kind of, it's just two things at the right time. And that is what I would say is one of my strengths as a player. My mechanics are not bad, but we all know my weakness is farming. With Veigar, he's actually not that bad with even me farming on him, because he's so good at last hitting with his Q. His W can help him with his Q, so I actually do fairly well with Veigar, even in farm. And then Malzahar, the last one, that obviously has been kind of the recent one, let's be honest, since his rework. I think I went from around, I think literally we played 12 games of Mals recently since his update with the execute. So we had 21 games of Mals before the update. So right now on this list, he would be below Nautilus. And we now are up to 33 games. We played 12 games of him and we had a 100% win rate. Literally, if you go back here, so my first game of Mals in the update, I believe was that game, but I'll just double check. Yeah, so the first game of Mals with the update of Mals was that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every single one of them is a victory. 12 games of Mals, 100% win rate. Why? So I've always felt comfortable on Mals, but a couple years ago, some people may remember, I played Mals for a negative reason. A couple years ago, I think it was season 10, it was the beginning of the pandemic kind of thing, I lost my confidence. I think a lot of us did. And when I was still having to stream and still trying to get an okay rank, I had internally absolutely no confidence. It just was completely shattered. So I had to turn to a champion that you can play even with not much confidence at the time, and that was Mals. Where what I'd like to think is, if you've been watching all the Mals games, apologies for how many there were, but we wanted to get Master again, and I literally just were like, any means necessary at the moment, because we only had 4 days left of me achieving it, of the season. But I'm playing Mals different. Before, a couple of years ago, if you watched that line, I didn't go for kills. I didn't go for even roams. I just played Mals, eat the wave, farmed as well as I could, walked away, and just didn't really get involved that much. We are getting involved as Mals. We are getting solo kills more often than we used to. We are roaming and making a lot of big plays. We are, as like some of my video titles have been, we are carrying with an anti-carry. He's not designed to carry, but we have actually carried games. Not all of them, clearly. Like, the Viego carried that game. Like, it's not in his nature to carry. Like, it is rare if you're going to carry with Mals. But we've had some absolutely, like, insane performances on him, like 68% kill participation. And the thing with Mals is, in modern meta, it's kind of... think of this game, right? The game that got us Master. There's a Viego on the enemy team. He basically won the game by himself. If I was opposing that Viego and he doesn't get that QSS early enough, I can shut down that Fed champion. That's what Mals is really good at. One, he's either really good at shutting them down if they don't buy the QSS, and if they do, well, then you're actually kind of making them weaker. Nobody wants to buy QSS. It's why people call it the QSS tax. Quicksilver Sash, for those that are like, what item is that? It's the one that removes the CC if you're getting Malzahar ulted, cleanse does not work. So you're either killing them, you know, you're locking them down and you're not making them do anything when they're a fed champion, which is great, or you're making them buy an item that they actually don't really want to buy. It's a win-win. So in modern day League of Legends, why I actually think Malz works so well also, there are so many champions like that. Think of your games right now, and I can most of you will probably go, ah, yeah, that game was a Hecarim solo carrying, or a Viego, or a Master Yi, or Samira, or something of that nature, are basically just solo carrying the game. Malz is good into all of those champions. So that's kind of why the mentality went there. Because the funny thing is, he didn't change, I don't think, at all, apart from the E-Execute. This shows he's had strength for a while, but the E-Execute, and what I've always said as well, is cover off one of your weaknesses. One of my weaknesses as a player is farming. 100%. I'm not very good at it. I'm a lot better at it when I play off stream, but when you're streaming and I'm looking at the chat, the thing that suffers for me the most is my farm. It just is. So Malz having an execute feature now, it's still not perfect, but my farm has actually improved a lot with him as well. I think I'm nearly averaging about 200 farm per game. That's not bad. I think on my Anivia, I'm averaging like 150. So quite an improvement straight away. So what I would say is this year has been a mental shift, playing more games, longer play sessions, maining champions, not playing as random picks, and literally sticking with it. So what I would literally say is, obviously you guys didn't see these 2 games in the Master promo. I was very, very stressed. It wasn't good. Like, we had some not great teammates, I would say. Like that Anivia game, if I go here, just because you guys want to see this. So 05180636. So my whole team fed. I was 2-3 and I only went negative KDA at the end of the game, I'm pretty sure. So that was kind of sucky. And then the Viego game, I think... Oh, yeah. So it's like, dude, you got a 13-2 whatevers. Yeah, so I was desperately asking for ganks in lane phase, like I sometimes do, because Victor's an immobile mage. If you get his flash, you can return gank with a Viger cage, everything, and you could probably get some kills on him. The volley bear just didn't come mid. He basically only went top. Now, that might surprise people, because you can see here, he was duo with the Lulu. Yeah, he didn't go even bot. He only went top. So the Viego kind of just lapped up the whole game. Like, yeah, look, the Urgot fed, but it didn't matter. It's an Urgot. A Darius at this level is quite hard for him to carry. Hell, it's hard for a volley bear to carry, but who can carry either a Varus or a Vigar? So unfortunately, that was just a bit of not great decision making. And like, I asked for ganks. I was pinging so much, and I think we might have got 2. And I think both of them may have got Victor Flash, and then they didn't come back to kill him. So it was just unfortunate, but it's just the way of it. And I was getting very stressed. You know, even in the wins, you guys could see I was getting very stressed. My heart was going nuts. If I was wearing my Apple Watch, which I wasn't at the time, I'd imagine it probably would have given me a warning going, your heartbeat is very strong. Be careful. So there's that. So all I'll say is I am finishing the season very happy. Just to put it in perspective, about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, just reminding everybody, we were Diamond 3. Literally, we were in Diamond 3. We went from Master to Diamond 3. And in a direct loss streak, for those that remember the loss streak, we were in Diamond 1. So we got demoted, fair enough. We went from Diamond 1 all the way down to Diamond 3 without winning a single game. That was only a few weeks ago. And then we recover it and manage to finish Master. So it can be done, surprisingly. Even I'm surprised myself, if I'm honest. But that's where you've got to play. Like, that is where I have played more League recently in the last couple of weeks, because in essence, if I don't play, if you don't play, you cannot climb. So that's where I started to play more League. I even played on the weekend. I played on Saturday and Sunday last week on ranked on a weekend. I never do that. And I did it because if I wanted to achieve Master, I had to start playing more and more and more. Because the thing is, if I failed this promo, I didn't want to give up. You know, at the time I had 4 days left of the season remaining. I would have... Today's Friday, me recording, it's the day after I got Master. I would have tried again today. And if I didn't get it today, I would have tried again Sunday. I'm having tomorrow off. And if I didn't get it Sunday, I would have tried again Monday, the day of the season. Ideally, you don't want to leave it that late, because Generally, the game becomes way more fiesta-y the later you leave it, but it is what it is. So I think what we could do now is just have a little look at some stuff. Oh, wait, not that one. Patterns, there we go. So let's have a little look at my individual stuff and see if we can find any patterns. So my win rate is slightly stronger on blue side, which I think is the norm. But I have got more games on red side. Surrendering, I only surrender 11.4 in my games, but the average person in Master on EUS surrenders 27.7% of games. My win rate after a victory is apparently negative, 47%, and my win rate after defeat is positive. Okay. My win rate after a hot streak, so if that hot streak is 3 wins in a row, very unlikely I win the 4th one. But obviously that's only 15 times I think that's happened, a hot streak. And my cold streak, my win rate after 3 losses in a row is still negative. So that does show sometimes I have gone on, if I'm on 3 losses in a row, it's more likely I'll continue losing at the moment. My win rate is if I'm personally 2 plus kills at 10 minutes, I believe, to my lane opponent, I have nearly an 80% win rate, which is why I've always said I want ganks. Please give me ganks. If I get ganks and I get a lead early, I'll win us the game. 80% win rate when I get +2 kills to my lane opponent at 10 minutes. The average in Master only has a 62.2% win rate. I have over nearly 20% better win rate if I have more kills in the early game. That's crazy. And the same goes if I'm down 2 kills, I still don't lose. Why? Now, again, this is the psychology of 1, me as a player, and 2, the champion pool that I have. It's why I've always said I don't play early game champions. If I play an early game champion and I'm down 2 kills at 10 minutes, I'm screwed. That's the point. I'm an early game champion. I'm down already. That is where that win rate on average in Master is 37% if you're down 2 kills to your lane opponent. I still win more. If I'm -2 kills at 10 minutes, I'm still winning 54% of my games. I'm still winning most of my games that my opponent has a lead on me by kills at 10 minutes. Because I play late game champions that it doesn't really matter if I get behind my 1v1. I will still scale. As long as you give me enough time, I can do it. All right, so win rate and game duration, and this, look how evident this is, everybody. So I literally just said about my philosophy in champion pool. You're literally seeing it right here. The longer the game goes, the higher win percentage I have. So my average medium win rate is here. So this is my 52% overall win rate. Most of my losses are at the 20-minute mark. If it's 20-minute surrender, I have what looks to be about a 46 maybe % win rate at 20 minutes. But then a little bit at 25 minutes, that's suddenly what, a 51% win rate, if that's 52. At 30 minutes, my win rate goes to probably what, 56% win rate. At 35, bit of an outlier, but below 55. But then at 40 minutes, my win rate is 60%. At a 45-minute game, my win rate is 66%. Because I play late game champions. That's the point. So basically, of how League is right now, that it does, and even though it's a snowbally kind of centric game, it does allow for longer games to happen. It suits me as a player. Obviously, I would adapt. If the meta, and it has shifted here or there, but if the meta becomes snowball 20-minute games only again, I will not play late game champs. There's no point. That's the point. That is where, the average game is now 20 minutes. Well, that's where you can then get away with playing Renekton or something like that, because the game doesn't get long enough for him to fall off. But at the moment, there's a lot of games. If you look through the match history at the moment, is there time of these games? Okay, so, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. So actually quite a lot of them. Okay, to be fair, this might be an outlier, but most of them you could probably say is about 30-ish minutes. I would do a slight wager earlier into the season, those would have been longer. Like there's 35 minutes, 36 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So there are some long ones here, 36 minutes, 32, nearly 33. We are obviously, that was 8 days ago, so that's like a week before the season ends. About a month ago, I'd imagine the average game might have been a bit longer. So why do I say there's a difference? The closer it is to the season end, the absolute more fiesta there is in the game. Absolute. So take that as you will. As for my KDA this season, so you're obviously KD negative overall, but KDA very good. Why have I not got a positive KD because of this? So I have played 397 mid lane games and then 196 support games. That is literally why I don't have a positive KD. I'm playing 200 support games. So unlike my Renata, who's my second most played champion, yeah, I get 2 kills a game, 5 deaths, but a lot of assists. But that's bad for my KD. Same with technically like Nautilus, 2 kills a game, 6.6 deaths, and then my Amumu will probably be about the same as 2. So if I was just going off mid lane KD, I'd be positive KD. But overall, including support, then yeah. And then as for my win rate and stuff, so mid lane, the most played role, 52.4% win rate. Support, 53.6%, technically better, but obviously half the amount of games. Top lane, which obviously I used to be a top lane main, 55.6% win rate in 54 games. That's not bad. And then AD carry, 40% win rate in 20 games. I did obviously have that stint of just playing AD carry for a week or so. And then jungle, my least played role that I presume most of that is autofill, 30% win rate. But in only 10 games, that means I've won 3, lost 7. So it's not a lot of games to go off. Not bad. Obviously, these often plays with, that is obviously my Clash team. So I've been really enjoying the Clash. You guys have been enjoying the Clash, and I am looking to continue it. I see no reason that we would stop. Obviously, I do know there's Clash still happening, I think, during preseason and stuff. So we probably will still play as long as everybody wants to. And as you can see, the team at the moment, Arbindi Boom is still Master, Toast is Master, Shmion has gone down to Diamond 1, and Afinet has also gone down to Diamond 1. So not sure if they're playing. I actually haven't heard Shmion in a couple of days. So I don't know if he's just really busy. Obviously, it would be nice for all of us to finish Master, but it is what it is. If we go back into, is there any records? So again, just for a bit of fun. So the game that I had the most assists with was a Nautilus game with 32. Barons in 1 game was Ari. We've got our creeps per minute. My best creeps per minute score apparently was a Mal's game. And that was, oh wait, is this American dates? Yes. Oh wow, that's only a couple days ago. So these are Americans. The reason we can tell is 26, so that must be the day. Here in the UK, it goes day, month, year. But America does it weird. America goes month, day, year. So that was the 9th of November, which of me recording this is only 2 days ago. So that was the best I ever did. And obviously that's with the Malzahar update. Damage dealt, Victor, 72,000 damage. Damage taken, Mundo, 59,000. Most deaths I've ever had in one game was Leona with 15. Dragons, 4 kills with Zerath. Obviously, I presume that is me helping specifically on the dragon. First Baron kill, 20 minutes, 14 seconds. So 14.2 seconds after it spawned, we killed it. First death was 45 seconds into the game on Alawi. First dragon kill at 5 minutes 17 as Akshan. First kill, I got a kill at 38 seconds in the game as Vlad. Gold per minute, the most was Jace. I only played 2 games of Jace this season on this account, won both of them. Gold earned, naturally Gangplank. Highest killing spree on Anivia with 11. Most kills in one game, Zed, 20. Kills at 10 minutes, Anivia, 7. Kills at 20 minutes, Swain, 14. Largest crit I ever did was 4.4k with Anivia, with Misfortune. Longest game this season was Anivia at 48 minutes, 35 seconds. And that was all the way back in January at the beginning of the season, a few weeks in. Longest time alive was Shen at 28 minutes, 40 seconds. I'd imagine that was a deathless game. And that was in February, apparently. Minions killed, 360 with Alawi. Total health, 47,000 health on Zac, not bad. Wards killed 16 with Zillion, and Wards placed 58 with Blitzcrank. So those are just some nice things to look at. Anything else in pattern? I don't probably believe so. It thinks I snowball very well, so if this player gets 2-0 or 3-1 at 10 minutes, I have a 17% better win rate than other master players, but I'm too confident. This player's win rate is lower when playing just after a victory, apparently. But there we go. That is my season 2022 overview. Crazy season. And what I'll do very quickly, just to end out this video, if you just bear with me momentarily, just to show you what I'm talking about when it comes to the specific website. Obviously, none of this is sponsored, but I just think it's kind of cool. So here it is. And look, it's the McLaren store ad. This is what I'm talking about. So right at the top of your profile, season 3 diamond, and the season 4 diamond 2, season 5 diamond 4, season 6 diamond 3, season diamond 4, diamond 3, diamond 2, diamond 3, diamond 4. So that is your end position each season. Because technically in season 9, if you remember on Liga Graphs over here, season 9's master, because that's going off my peak rank of the season, where this is going off where I finished. So finally, here, in a few weeks' time, in season 2022, will be master. Finally. But anyway, that is going to be it. Let me know with how your season's gone. By the way, it's just worth mentioning, that does put me in the top 0.19% of the game. That is rank 33,827 currently in the world, and rank 9,827 on Europe. Not bad. That is going to be it. If you guys enjoyed this overall season, we did it. We've achieved what we wanted. Let me know. Again, the question of this video, if you made it to the end, is how has your season gone? Literally tell me. Has it gone good? Has it not gone quite as well as you want? Have you achieved your goal? Where did you end up in rank? Let me know. I'd actually be really interested to see where the overall audience lies. So please do let me know. I'll be reading all of them. But that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.